Internet data storage means that a current copy of your data is kept at a location on the internet. Each time you finish a level session, the data set as it is at that moment is copied to some location on the internet. The next time you initiate a level session, even on another computer, that copy is retrieved and placed into that computer as your starting point, so that you have the freedom to start your next session at a different computer than you terminate this one at. To encourage this use of internet data storage, Level Healthware allows you to install your copy of single user level on as many computers as you care to, provided that you are the user of that copy of single user level. You can install it on your home computer, on your office computer, on your laptop, and on as many other computers as you care to. This gives you the freedom to work on any of those computers, always having a current copy of your data set. Notice that your data set is merely copied to that location on the internet, so it is also present in the computer that it was copied from. So the next time you do not have to actually retrieve it from the internet, or if there's an internet failure, it is no worry because it is in your computer. So the internet storage is redundant to what is in your computer. It does not replace it. It gives you an added option. Perhaps the greatest benefit of having your data, or a copy of your data out on the internet, is that it is visible to your diabetes caregiver. As soon as, or even while you're still working on your data, your diabetes caregiver can see it as it is on the internet copy. Therefore, you do not have to phone them or email them or send them a file of your data so that they know where you are at this very moment. All they have to do is look at the copy that's on the internet. This indeed would be the greatest single advantage to using internet data storage. Now, let's address the question of where on the internet is that location going to be. It's going to be in a location of your own choosing and your own control. All that is needed is that you acquire a location on an FTP server. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, and all it means is that that location has the ability to accept files and to send files. It's a very simple extension of what we ordinarily call the internet. It's a simple application of the internet. If you have an FTP account someplace, that will do just fine. If you want to procure one on an FTP server, that will also work very fine. If you don't have such a one, an easy way to get FTP service is to acquire a Yahoo small business web hosting website. FTP service comes with this web hosting website. It costs you some number of dollars, around 10 or so at this time, a month to maintain that website, and then you can use it as a repository for your data set when it has been saved by one of the computers that you're using. And also, if you tell your diabetes caregiver the location of that FTP server, then they can also have access to look at your data at any time, and even while you're also looking at it yourself. In fact, you can both look at it simultaneously and have a phone conversation about it. This website that you might procure from Yahoo Small Business offers FTP service for file in and out behind the scenes, behind the pages of the website. So Level does not use the pages of the website whatsoever. It only uses the FTP ability of the website to store files and return files out of it. It's done this way by us at Level Healthware so that you have control of that FTP location, not that it is some server of our own and out of your control. There are services, diabetes services, that permit you to enter your data directly into the internet, and it is stored on the internet, and it is kept there, and you do not actually have a copy of it yourself. It is out of your control on the internet, so that if you don't have access to the internet, then you don't have access to your data. That is not the way that Level Healthware approaches it. We approach it that there is also a copy in your computer, so that if the internet is shut down or you don't have access to it, you can continue on your computer in standalone operation. Also, you have control of where that location is on the internet. And if you decide to change to another location, then it is very, very easily done also. This suggested web hosting Yahoo Small Business website can service up to 200 patients. So it is a bit wasted if you get one entirely for yourself, although that's certainly a good way to do it. It's much more expedient if your diabetes caregiver acquires such a web hosting Yahoo Small Business website and tells the location of it to some 200 of his or her patients. All of you can share that one website. This is certainly the most expedient way to do it. And in this case, each one of you will have password-protected privacy, so there is no loss in that respect. If you're starting out simply yourself, then you should acquire your own website, and if later your diabetes caregiver wants to, then they can also acquire a Level product called Level for Professionals, and from that product they can see your data just as easily as you can see your data, and they can acquire one web hosting website which will service up to 200 of their patients. For now, let's assume that you're going to start by acquiring your own. The way to begin looking at whether you want to use internet data service or not is by going to Setups. Then you will see an entry that's called Set Internet Data Storage. And there you will see an option, Use or Don't Use. Currently, you are not using internet data storage, so if you want to continue not using it, then you simply click on OK. If you decide that you do want to explore using it, then you can click on Yes, I do. And then you can explore, and there will be later chances to cancel. This is not a commitment at all on your point. Also, there is a help screen here that indicates much of what I'm talking about right now, about how to do this and what it's all about. At this point, let's continue with the setup. This is the screen by which you tell Level the location that you have chosen on the internet for your data to reside. You must have the STP server name. Now, if you have acquired a web hosting small business site from Yahoo, then it will have a name, such as the one, for example, here that I've acquired is www.levelfordiabetes.com. And that is the name of the website with a www. The name of the FTP server that's associated with that website simply replaces www with FTP. So this is your FTP server name that comes with the Yahoo Small Business web hosting site. The name of the website that you chose at the time that you acquired it from Yahoo with the prefix FTP to indicate that you are using at this time the FTP aspect of that website. By the way, Level does not do anything with those pages at that website. Those are free for you to use for whatever use you care to, or for no use at all. Next, at that website, there must be an account name. Now, the one that you will use by default is your Yahoo account name. If you care to change to some other, then you can change to some other. So the format to put in your FTP server account name is your account name. For openers, this would simply be your Yahoo account name. Then the @ levelfordiabetes.com, which is the name of your website. So this is the name of your FTP account on this FTP server. And of course, this account is password protected. And for openers, the password could simply be the same password that you use for your ordinary Yahoo business. So to summarize, what would go in this location is the name of your Yahoo account. What would go in this location is your Yahoo password. Then they would be concluded by the @ sign and the name of the website. The FTP server is the name of the website preceded by FTP. So this is the format for setting up the connection to the FTP location that you have chosen. Now, at that location, your level diabetes data will be kept in a folder. The name of that folder is of your own choosing. So at this time, you can choose the name of the folder that you would like to be used to have your diabetes data kept into it. If you share this FTP server with some other friend who also has diabetes, then they would simply select a different folder for themselves. And if this is provided by your diabetes caregiver, then there could be up to 200 of you that are sharing the same FTP location, and each of you would have your own folder that contains yours and yours only diabetes data. Now, that folder is password protected, and now is the time for you to select the password that you want to protect that folder. It's entirely of your own choosing, and no one else can get into that folder except by knowing that password. So at this time, you choose a password and type it twice. If later you want to share this location with your diabetes caregiver, then you just give them the items, the 5 items that are on this page. You give him the name of the FTP server, the account name, the account password, the name of your folder, and the password that you have chosen. Then your diabetes caregiver can also connect to this location and have your data made visible to them. If you want to install Level on another computer for yourself to use, such as your laptop, then on that other computer you also come to this screen and repeat the same information. So for as many computers as you care to install Level on for your private use, you would connect each of them to the same FTP storage location via this screen, and then each one of them would have access to that same data site. Now, as we're continuing to explore, we can click on OK here, and at this point, then we can explore, and there will be a later opportunity to cancel. So what I'm going to do now is change the name of the patient folder, since this one has already been in use. And so I'm going to use the keyboard, and I'm going to acquire this to be 666. And the password I'm going to use, just between you and I, is also going to be 666, so it's easy for me to remember. So let's go out. Now, Level right now is searching the internet for this server location and account there with this password. And it found a good internet connection has been found for this FTP server name, for this account name, and for this password. So you are connected now to this location. Okay, this is the last chance to cancel. What it did is check whether the patient folder 666 that you choose to use already exists. And it found that no one else is yet using a folder of this name. So it now says if you want to continue, then Level will create this folder for you with this password for you to use. So this is your last chance to cancel out if you just want to explore. If you want to continue, then click yes. You may connect 5 or 6 different computers to your internet data storage location, your laptop, your office computer, your home computer, and any others that you might be using. And when you use one of them, then Level keeps a history file indicating the date and time that you used the FTP location and also which computer you used it from. In order to be able to enter which computer that you used it from, each time you connect a computer to this FTP location, you give that particular computer a name. For example, you might say my home computer, my office computer, my laptop computer, nurse's station computer, or anything at all. I'm going to call this room 205 computer because that is the room that I'm in right now. And it says Level Healthware will now activate your internet data storage at this folder. Depending on the speed and type of your internet connection, this could take only a few seconds, for a slower connection a few moments, or if your internet connection is very slow, even longer. However, just keep waiting. In the extreme case of more than a few moments, Windows falsely notifies you that the system is not responding, which is not true. Just ignore this and continue waiting. So let's continue. So now you will see that you are having your current data set, as it is in this computer, moved out to that FTP location as a starting data set for your FTP activity. It's being moved out there, then it's been moved back to ensure that there's complete synchronization right now between this computer and that FTP location. This is actually a very high-speed connection, and this happened in just a few seconds. So your current data set in this computer, as it exists right now, has been placed into your new folder that you chose the name for, Patient Folder 666, in the account, Patient Folders, at the website, ftlevelfordiabetes.com, at the Internet Storage location, FTP Level for Diabetes as your starting data set. And it checked this data set from this computer, it checked it into that location. It was then checked out back into this computer and is now available for your normal use. These words, check out and check in, are used throughout Level's presentation of internet data storage. When you start a Level session, then you check out the data set from the internet data storage location. When you terminate your Level session, then you check the data set back in. So you check in, when you finish using it, you check it back into the location, and the next time you want to use it, you check out. To ensure data integrity, while you have the data set checked out, then no one else can also check it out. Not another computer or your diabetes caregiver or anyone else. Because if two of you have it checked out at the same time, then you will be overriding each other's data. So for the moments that you are actually using the data set, this is the only computer that can have it in checked out status. However, even while you do have it checked out and you're using it, your diabetes caregiver can see it in what we call read-only mode. They're just not allowed to make changes, but they can view it simultaneously as you are working with it. So now this has been established, everything is okay. So your internet data storage is now operational, and you begin using Level as usual. Your data set will be checked in at the close of your session, and everything is okay. So now, you are now back in total control of your computer, and the internet location is not being maintained at the moment. Your computer is basically in standalone operation. And what you do is whatever you care to do in this particular session. Let's suppose that what you care to do is to enter a blood glucose reading. So let's give it a few events, and let's give it a little bit of insulin as well. And let's make a comment also. Add a comment. So say ate a hamburger. So we can save that comment. Now we want to save this entry, and data has been saved. Do we want to make another entry? No, that's enough for now. So let's suppose we want to take a look at our table and see what we've got out there as our data. What you see is the entry that we just made, which was done today, 3:02, and it has a comment on it, and the comment is ate a hamburger. So this entry is already out there, and we can go back to the main entry. And suppose that what you want to do is also record a visit that you made to your physician. So let's record a visit to your physician that you made today. Suppose the facility name that you went to is Airport Hospital. And suppose that the physician that you visited was Dr. Jones, and say, all okay. Okay? So this is, we can go into this in more detail in another video, but this is the way that you record a patient visit. So at the moment, we have made 2 entries. So we want to finish our level session now. So all we do is click on the usual Windows close button, and what happens is that level automatically checks you back in. As the data set now is, it is put back in that storage location, a copy of it. It's also present in this computer, of course, but it's also being copied out to that location in case you want to start your next session on a different computer. We get a notice that it was checked in to the storage location in perfectly normal fashion and everything that is okay, so level now closes. Okay? So let's assume that you come back later in the day and you want to use level some more. So you open up level, and now it says, now starting Internet Data Storage Checkout. It automatically detects that you're using Internet Data Storage. It remembers where the location is, and it will now retrieve that data set for you. So it's retrieving the data set that you placed there a few moments ago. However, level is fairly intelligent. If it notices that no other computer has placed a data set on top of yours at that location, then it is needless for it to actually copy it back in, since it's synchronized and duplicated in the data set in this computer. So in that case, it realizes it doesn't have to make the copy, so it doesn't. And the data set is now present in this computer, and we can verify that by taking a look at the table and seeing indeed that that same entry is still there. So now let's make another entry. Let's say that we're going to have a very low reading, and say before exercise, and say your blood pressure was 145 over 78. And so let's save this entry. So now when we go to the table, you indeed we see the table contains both entries. Now, when we close level at this time, then this data set having both entries will be placed back on the Internet Data Storage. And when we start our next session, either on this computer or another computer, then that data set containing both of those entries will be the one that will be retrieved. And then entries can be added to it, and then it can be placed back there again. And any one of your 5 or 6 computers can be the one to bring it down the next time, use it a while and put it back, and also your diabetes caregiver can be the one to bring it down and take a look at it and put it back. So this describes our introduction to the feature in level diabetes models known as Internet Data Storage, which permits you to keep a current copy of your data on the internet location so that you may use that data from a number of different computers and that your diabetes caregiver may also have access to it.